Hello gamers, my name is TierVision, and today I've got a bit of a video special for you. We're doing an in-depth analysis of the recent Modern Warfare 3 gameplay trailer. So the trailer is broken up into 4 parts for 4 different countries, and we begin with America. So I have frozen the trailer here at this New York part, so that we can get a real good look at what's going on. So what we have here is a seemingly American Apache moving across the river towards New York City. In my thought, it's most likely giving support for Americans that are on shore defending the city by shooting at these boats here. Now we can't really obtain any significant information from this part, but we do know that New York is under full attack, and it's most likely from a country like Germany, being that it would be easy to get access to New York, being it's right on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. So we're going to move on, but I already want to stop it right here, because there's some information that we can already gain from this little clip. Now, this guy here, he throws you a magazine, and I don't know if he has any significance in the story, playing a main character, kind of like Ghost or Gaz, but we may be able to assume that on this mission, you may have to escape the city solely with him and only your weapon. Now, you can tell that there's a lot of debris scattered everywhere, but you can also tell that the vehicle to your left is a flipped-over Humvee. Notice the tire up at the top, and it's also on fire. The vehicle up the road a little bit is also a Humvee, but we can't really tell the situation that that vehicle is in. No other military personnel are noticeable in this frame, which leads me to believe that this might be a stranded and escape to the LZ scenario. I'm sorry, but I already have to stop it here. This is just too interesting. The weapon that we see our character holding is seemingly to be an M4 or possibly an M16, maybe some sort of variation. The sights that we have on top are what seems to be a holographic sight, followed by an ACOG scope put together. Our buddy over here is already on point, and you seem to be getting into position, which leads me to believe even more in my theory about this mission. What we have here are, assuming, some German or Russian submarines launching missiles at New York, assuming about the German or Russian part. If we watch it very slowly, frame by frame, we will notice a huge fleet of ships in the background. Also, more doors opening for more missiles to launch from. Of course, this means nothing campaign-wise, but the developers are securing the message of saying that New York is under attack and needs serious help to all of the viewers of this trailer. That ends it for the American part, and we're now moving on to the England section. Immediately, we're going to notice something significant. Something that you would blow over normally when watching this trailer. What we have here is a bunch of US forces shooting at something. No, not a giant fleet of enemies, but this truck. Of course, I have no idea what's inside the truck, but I do know that we want it badly. Possibly, maybe a leader of enemies is inside the truck, or maybe even some goods. Who knows? So it seems that this part of campaign is going to be fun, guys. Maybe something like the beginning of Black Ops when you break out of that prison. What I can tell from this is that this guy, most likely you, wants to get onto that train or help somebody onto that train to get something. Nobody knows what. So far, the England part of Modern Warfare 3 seems to be the most awesome. All I can tell is that I will definitely be jizzing my pants when I finally get to the England part of campaign this November. Okay, so we're going to move on up and give France the spotlight. So we need to take a second and give this chemical agent some attention. It almost seems like Nova 6 and almost has the same effect. It's actually very deadly. From this part of the trailer, you can tell that you and your team are definitely going to be moving very fast through the streets and alleys of Paris trying to escape this agent. You're actually looking for somebody, but I'm not going to go into depth on that. In this frame, you're going to obviously notice the vehicle to your left. You can't tell who's driving or who's inside it, so you can't really figure out if the bad guys, so to speak, or us, the good guys, are actually in this vehicle or not. We may very possibly be playing the role of this helicopter up here. If you were in fact playing the role of the helicopter pilot / gunner, it would make for a great mission. Likewise, if it turns out that you're playing the role of the driver or maybe gunner in this van right here, the mission would turn out to be just as fun. So if we go ahead and translate that word written on the side of the van to English, I'm sorry, but I would totally destroy it if I actually went ahead and tried to pronounce it, we find out that it means a Russian, German, or even English police force, mainly towards civilians. This means that we have probably jacked this vehicle, or the enemies have jacked this vehicle. Once again, we don't really know. The last thing that I have to point out here is the surrounding. It seems that we are in a mall, or maybe even a museum, who knows. This next bit of trailer here is actually going to show us some simple things, just like the different close quarter combat situations, or different scenarios we'll find ourselves running into, maybe even like driving through the city streets in this Humvee here. At this time, we're going to move on to the last and final, and not to mention longest section of this trailer. Immediately, we notice some pretty normal war-type situations, but I have to stop it here, because this is a little bit more significant. Like in Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops, we're going to find ourselves clipping in, jumping out, and then swinging through a window as a breach. Obviously, we're looking for someone or something, and so far, this part looks pretty fun. Let's just hope that they don't turn this feature into as big of an ad campaign as they did for Black Ops. Move on, and we're going to find some tanks blowing up, some UAV planes, some buildings falling over, and some hurtling cars. Let's listen, shall we?
It doesn't take the most powerful nations on Earth to create the next global conflict. Just the will of a single man.
Before we move on, I think we need to take a second and backtrack. This situation right here with these hostages seems like it would make great for a sniping mission. Possibly up on the roof of that building, or maybe sneaking around in that tunnel back behind the guy in the far back, sort of to the left.
Just the will of a single man.
I have a feeling that I know who says those words, but I don't want to spoil anything for the people trying to stay away from all of the leaked information. What the relevance is of those words, it's probably some Call of Duty ad campaign bullcrap that we hear from all the other trailers that come out for all the Call of Duty games. Nonetheless, it does actually play a pretty relevant role in the campaign for Modern Warfare 3. As we move on in the trailer, we're going to find some different clips from some of the different missions in campaign. Here, you get to watch a helicopter go down, be it friendly or enemy. And here, we're going to have a Russian shipping yard that seems like it's going to set us up for some pretty good medium or maybe even short-range gameplay. So the trailer's coming to an end, but here at the end, it's basically just a giant compilation of different clips from the game. And what we have here, we find ourselves scuba diving in an underground highway, a tunnel actually, that's been flooded out, I'm assuming by the quote-quote bad guys. I'm not sure exactly what we're going after in this mission, but if you've ever seen the movie The Day After Tomorrow, what happens to New York is it gets completely flooded out. Of course, I'm talking about the part before, the whole city completely freezes over, but nonetheless, I think a scenario like this could make the game pretty darn fun. I already have to pause the video. We're going back to the COD 4 days. A mission with the AC-130. You're actually in Paris, France again, and you're covering the ground troops, like we saw in a previous part of this trailer, that are moving through the city. This is one of those missions where you're actually going to be switching back and forth between two characters. The differences we can see here is that our HUD gets a complete overhaul, and everything is in color, unlike the thermal imagery of Call of Duty 4. Oh my god, I think this gave me a Woody. Flying just above the city streets of New York, lighting up an enemy helicopter with your minigun seems to be a great mission. I have to relate this to the ending of Modern Warfare 2. It's basically the same thing. Except this time, you're in the Hudson River, and you don't have Captain Price as your gunner, as far as we can tell. It's this other guy. Also, in the background, you have burning New York City, along with that boat taking a missile to the chest. I'd say that America's got some defense. Well, as we wrap this up, we find ourselves in some different points of view, along with New York City. And that is going to mark the ending of this Modern Warfare 3 gameplay trailer analysis. Of course, at the end, they have to get all commercial on you, tell you the developers, and that the game is coming out 11/8/11, which is November 8th of this year. So, if you enjoyed this video and you are not subscribed to me, please consider subscribing. It really makes me happy. And also, if you just enjoyed this video generally, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. Thumbs down is not good. I do not enjoy thumbs down. Thumbs up is very good. I enjoy thumbs up. Real quick here at the end, if you're still actually watching this, I want to just make it known that it is finals time for actually all high schools across America, and my schedule is officially butt raped in the sack. So please be a little lenient with me. I know I'm slowly gaining a subscriber base, but please be a little bit lenient with me. I am doing my best to work hard. I do have some more projects I'm working on right now, but I'm currently so stacked up with homework, I don't have time for everything. So, I want to thank you for watching. My name is Tear Vision. Peace!